Hello there, Commonwealth from here, and it's been over half a year since our previous Nintendo Direct, with Zelda also video, but we have entered the month of February, our last hope for a Nintendo Switch Direct, before the big transition on April 2nd to Nintendo Switch 2. That being all kind of franchises, but let's be honest, most of all Zelda, as Zelda does have some reveal history in February. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press the notification bell. Physical The Legend of Zelda releases have only one stage where they can get revealed, and that is in Nintendo Directs, or in even bigger than that, Nintendo presentations. This is not just something I'm saying, it has a track record that is literally flawless, and is as such an objective fact. We saw this last year with Echoes of Wisdom, in 2023 with Tears of the Kingdom Trailer 2, 2021 Skyward Sword HD, 2019 Link's Awakening HD, and then in June that year the later Tears of the Kingdom, in 2015 Triforce Heroes, followed by November Twilight Prince HD and Breath of the Wild tease. Speaking of 2014, the first look and reveal of Breath of the Wild, and the year before that 2013 the Wind Waker HD. Why a February 2025 Direct? And I've already mentioned it at the beginning, it's been over half a year. Nate the Hate, in the same podcast where he leaked that, well, the Switch 2 or the first look trailer of it, but at the same time he also said that we can expect something also in February. And that is where I would put more emphasis, especially when it comes to the possibilities of Zelda reveals. This month, the wait for more Pokemon Legends ZA will end. But speaking of wait, I hope also this month will end the wait for Zelda the Wind Waker HD. Yes, it is one of those games stuck on the Wii U and will be mighty fine as it is on the Nintendo Switch. A backwards compatible title they would also be able to play on Nintendo Switch 2, and a simple re-release of this remake with maybe a tiny few new features here and there would be more than enough. As seriously, this art style is timeless. It ages like the best kind of wine. If Nintendo wants to give us Zelda fans something on their Golden Switch OLEDs and recent lights, then look no further. It is the perfect game to sail off towards that Nintendo Switch 2 horizon and tell Zelda fans that we have yet another backwards compatible masterpiece. Wind Waker is one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. And according to myself, it has the most well thought out story, with depth and multiple solid twists and turns in the series. It has character development and plenty of surprises. The gameplay is also there to back it up, as until Breath and Tears, this was the Zelda with the best gameplay out there. The only thing missing was a horse, but Epona wasn't needed when we have the King of Red Lions with the HD Swift Sail. It is the perfect Zelda to close out this impressive, but also more and more as we went on the powered generation. A game that can do exactly what Skyward Sword did in 2021. Get revealed in February with unique Zelda Joy-Cons, add some new features, and naturally deliver the rare 1080p 3D Zelda experience. Now better than ever, since, let's be honest, it already did 1080i on the Wii U over 10 years ago. I know Nintendo is most likely holding on this, and they can do this quite easily for $50. Yes, I would even accept $60 if the game is running also in 60 frames per second, as was the case with Skyward Sword HD. If that is the case, just take my money, Nintendo. But do we have precedents to say that Zeldas get revealed in February? We saw this in 2023 with the second trailer of Tears of the Kingdom, but more importantly, both remasters and remakes that have been launched on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to The Legend of Zelda were revealed in February. That was the case in 2019 with Link's Awakening, and then in 2021 with Skyward Sword HD. In other words, there's room for one final Zelda remake/remaster. Naturally, there's also a second Wii alternative, Twilight Princess HD, a game that sold even poorer on the system because it had less time, and let's be honest, the Wii was dead in early 2016. At the same time, that game has not aged as gracefully over the last 9 years, and personally I would prefer to see another update on the Nintendo Switch 2. Then you have the option of bundling both. And this is why we're talking about Metroid Prime 2 and 3 before Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in this video, because sure, we could bundle both of those games and launch them at the same time, but Nintendo might want to actually fizzle them out gradually. they know that they can sell each of these for $40, $50, or even $60. Maybe not in the case of Metroid, but in the case of Zelda, absolutely. And I'm more inclined to believe that they reveal Wind Waker HD, followed by not only saying, hey, the game is coming soon, no, it's actually being available later today. A shadow drop strategy, just like in the case of Metroid Prime Remastered. That would absolutely rock, because you would have a Zelda game before the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd, just a few months after Echoes of Wisdom. And if you want to, Wind Waker 4K on the Nintendo Switch 2, while you give a 4K upgrade for those who bought the Switch version beforehand. That is the magic of backwards compatibility. You can literally announce anything in such a final February Nintendo Switch Direct, because it will all be on the Nintendo Switch 2. And that is based on what we have seen in terms of games that are already supported on the website. We already talked about this in one of our previous Zelda videos. But yeah, that is the tradition that is keeping me very optimistic for a final Zelda reveal for the Nintendo Switch. Yes, there's another possibility as well, and that is a Miitopia possibility, since there are Zelda games also on the 3DS, because the new one, of course, being A Link Between Worlds, the game that is in the timeline before Echoes of Wisdom. And when we talk about Hyrule, it's the game right before Echoes of Wisdom. So it would be a very good fit if they decided to do Miitopia of it and give us an HD version of it. It's also a game that doesn't really need 4K because it is top-down, and it would look very good already with its existing art style. And we are also in that 2D Zelda mood after Echoes of Wisdom, and being able to play as Link in one of the best 2D Zelda adventures would be a very great send-off. It's a game that also could easily be shadow dropped as a result, doing the same strategy as I've been implying with Wind Waker HD, because that way you have a 2D Zelda this year followed by a 3D later on. And then there's of course the question, could it be that Ocarina of Time 3D will be brought over the same way to the Nintendo Switch? Or are they waiting with actually giving us a proper Final Fantasy VII remake style remake of Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo Switch 2? Like, I wouldn't expect the latter on the Nintendo Switch 2 this year, because it's not really a case of comparison. The reason why I'm saying Breath of the Wild 4K or upscale 4K is that it's the perfect case of graphical comparison that Nintendo can make. A game that is the definition of the Switch, with a game that is on the Switch 2, just to show how much more powerful this system is when it comes to open world games. Ocarina of Time 4K will probably then be 2026 or later. But we could see Ocarina of Time 3D Miitopia. Of course, that would be a big disappointment, because that ends the discussion of Ocarina of Time 4K for good. And the same goes for Majora's Mask or whatever was to come later on. So I would prefer, of course, A Link Between Worlds Miitopia, because I would rather see Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in a proper remake in 4K. Those are the possibilities, really. There are not any big anniversaries apart from Majora's Mask, and let's be honest, you need Ocarina of Time before Majora's Mask, and Triforce Heroes, where you need A Link Between Worlds, which we already have mentioned. And other 2D Zelda remakes will probably be saved for the Nintendo Switch 2. My prediction this year has been very simple. One final Zelda reveal for the Nintendo Switch, followed by one that is exclusive, well, at least content-wise and feature-wise, on the Nintendo Switch 2. Wind Waker on Switch, Breath of the Wild in upscaled 4K on the Nintendo Switch 2. Wind Waker HD just shadow dropping the same day. Like, this is the strategy I would love to see. Yes, they can say this is going to be backwards compatible on Nintendo Switch 2 and not say anything more. Not revealing anything regarding the specs of the system, features, anything really beyond what they have done. Just saying that, hey, at the end of the presentation, we have more for you less than 2 months from now in the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct April 2nd. Seriously, that's literally all they have to do. And for us Zelda fans, we are eating really good if we get something both in February and April. But on that note, I think we've covered it. I think the two most likely reveals, as we have deducted now, would be either Wind Waker HD on the Nintendo Switch or Link Between Worlds Miitopia. That is what makes the most sense and also allows for more things to be done on the Nintendo Switch 2 further down the line, apart from just backwards compatibility. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and are hoping for a proper February Nintendo Direct, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press the notification bell. Last but not least, a big thanks to all of you for watching until the end, and to all of our great patreon.com/comearound patrons, and in particular, Raw Producer, JC Funk, and heroes, Cheryl, Garrett Hoy, Holly Wolf, and Kintaro. You all rock, and please enjoy one or both of these two awesome videos.